Alex Mercer sat alone in the broken control room of Star Station Delta 9, far from Earth and even farther from any hope of rescue. The lights flickered. The smell of burning wires mixed with the cold metallic air. He pulled his jacket tighter around him. The station had been abandoned for years, and Alex was the only human left. Alex was not supposed to be here. He was supposed to be an ambassador, a bridge between humans and the rest of the galaxy. But things went wrong. Someone had sabotaged his shuttle. He crashed here, on the edge of known space, with no way to call for help. Every night, Alex listened to the radio. The old speakers crackled and buzzed, picking up random signals from across the galaxy. Most were just static, but sometimes Alex caught strange voices, alien languages he could not understand, laughter that sounded like it came from a dream, music that was both beautiful and sad. But last night, he had heard something different, a distress signal. It was short, almost hidden, but Alex recognized the urgency in the repeating sound. He spent the morning fixing the transmitter. He tapped buttons and twisted wires, hoping to catch the signal again. Suddenly, the station shuddered. Something massive was approaching. Alex rushed to the window and looked out at the stars. A ship appeared from the darkness, larger than anything Alex had seen before. It did not look like any human or alien ship he knew. Its surface shimmered with colors that changed like oil on water. Lights moved along its hull, forming patterns that danced and shifted. The station's gravity warped and Alex almost fell as the ship locked on. The ship sent a message, but Alex's computer could not translate it. Then, a beam of light shot out and scanned the whole station. Before Alex could react, the air shimmered and a door slid open. Figures stepped out, tall, graceful, with shining eyes and long cloaks that seemed to float. They moved straight towards Alex. He tried to run, but his legs felt heavy. The aliens surrounded him, their faces serious but not cruel. One stepped forward. She was taller than the others, with markings on her face that glowed softly in the dim light. The alien queen. She looked at Alex for a long moment. He felt her gaze go straight through him, searching for something he didn't understand. The guards tensed. Alex braced for pain or interrogation. But instead, the queen dropped her staff and reached out. She wrapped her arms around Alex, gentle and warm. Alex froze, too shocked to move. The queen leaned down and whispered, in perfect English, "I finally found you, my human." Alex's mind raced with questions, fear, and a strange, unexpected hope. Out here, at the edge of everything, he realized his real journey was just beginning. Alex could barely breathe as the alien queen hugged him. It was the strangest moment of his life. He was used to shaking hands, maybe a polite nod, but never a hug from an alien leader, especially not one whose people were rumored to be dangerous. But the queen's arms were gentle, and her touch was strangely comforting. The Lissari guards watched in silence, their silver eyes following every move. They looked ready to attack at any sign of trouble, but they seemed more curious than angry. Alex noticed how they bowed their heads slightly when the queen spoke, as if they respected her deeply. The queen pulled back and looked into Alex's eyes. Her gaze was both kind and powerful. She spoke again, and this time her words were translated by a small device on her collar. "Do not be afraid, Alex Mercer," she said softly. "I am Exoiril, Queen of the Lissari. I have crossed galaxies to find you." Alex tried to speak, but his voice caught in his throat. Why would an alien queen search for him? He was just a low-ranking human ambassador, stranded and forgotten by his own people. He wondered if this was a trick, or maybe a dream he would soon wake up from. Exoiril turned to her guards and gave a simple command. Instantly, they lowered their weapons. The tension in the air faded a little, but Alex still felt nervous. He glanced around the control room, looking for any way to escape if things went wrong. But the Lissari didn't threaten him. Instead, one of them offered him a small packet of food, Another placed a glowing heater beside him to chase away the cold. "We mean you no harm," the queen continued, noticing his fear. "You are important to us. We have searched for your kind for centuries." Her voice was musical, but Alex could hear a note of sadness. "Long ago, a human saved my people. You carry their spirit. You are the one I have waited for." Alex's mind spun with questions. Saved her people. Centuries ago. None of this made sense. But before he could ask anything, the station shook again. An alarm sounded. Something was wrong outside. The queen moved quickly. She called out in her own language, and her guards formed a protective circle around Alex. With a single motion, HFY activated the small hologram. It showed a fleet of ships, human ships, approaching fast. Alex recognized the symbols on their hulls. The Galactic Council. "They are looking for you," the queen said quietly. "But they do not wish to save you. If they find you here, you will be lost forever." Alex felt a chill run down his spine. He was caught between powerful forces he did not understand. But for the first time since his crash, he was not alone. The queen placed her hand on his shoulder. "Come with me, Alex. I will show you the truth." With no other choice, Alex followed the queen into the unknown, hoping she would keep her promise. Alex walked with the queen and her guards through the long, quiet hallways of the space station. He felt like he was in a dream, following these graceful aliens while alarms still blinked red behind them. Every step took him farther from the life he once knew and deeper into mystery. The queen led him to a round chamber at the heart of the station. The door opened with a soft hiss. Inside, the walls glowed with soft blue light. It was warm here, and the air smelled sweet, not like the cold metal outside. The Lysari guards stood by the door, but the queen stepped into the middle of the room and waited for Alex. "Sit with me," Tyrell said, her voice calm. She sat cross-legged on a thick, cushiony mat and invited Alex to sit across from her. Hesitant but curious, Alex sat down. The queen placed her hands together in a way that looked like prayer. "Why are you doing this?" Alex asked quietly. "Why do you say you've been searching for me?" The queen smiled softly. "Because you are special to my people. You do not know it yet, but you have a gift inside you." She reached out her hands, palms open. "May I show you?" Alex hesitated. He looked at her hands, then at the guards. No one moved. Finally, he reached out and placed his hands in hers. The moment their skin touched, Alex felt a rush of warmth and light fill his mind. He saw flashes, bright, strange pictures, not his own memories. He saw an alien world, green with giant trees and silver rivers. He saw the Lysari, proud and strong. But then he saw them suffering, hunted by shadowy creatures, their cities burning. He felt the queen's fear and pain, but also her hope. In one clear vision, he saw a human, dressed in old earth clothes, saving the queen's people long ago. The human held out a hand, and the Lysari took it. That moment changed everything. As Alex watched these memories, he felt the queen's feelings mix with his own. Her sadness was deep, but so was her kindness. The embrace wasn't just physical. It was inside his mind. It was like sharing a secret heart-to-heart with someone who had been alone for too long. When the vision ended, Alex pulled his hands away, gasping. He looked at the queen with new eyes. "You saw it," she said quietly. "My people and yours are connected. That human who saved us, your ancestor, passed something down to you. A light, a gift. Only you can help us now." Alex was silent. He had never felt so important, or so afraid. He understood that he was not just a lost ambassador anymore. He was the key to saving the Lysari. The queen looked at him, her eyes shining with hope. "Will you help us, Alex Mercer? Will you trust me?" Alex nodded slowly. Deep inside, something told him this was his true purpose. Alex sat quietly in the warm, glowing chamber. The queen's words echoed in his mind. He kept thinking about the visions he saw, of ancient battles, of a single brave human standing with the Lissari, and of the darkness that nearly wiped them out. He looked at Axaril, the queen, and asked softly, "Why do you need me? There must be stronger people, more important people. I'm just me." Axaril smiled, but her eyes were sad. "It is not about strength or power. It is about your spirit. My people, the Lissari, have a gift. We can connect minds. But our power is wild. Without a human anchor, we lose control. Long ago, a human helped my ancestors control this gift. Since then, we have searched for another." She touched her own chest gently, as if remembering a deep pain. Our world was almost lost. Many do not trust outsiders anymore. Some Lissari believe we should hide forever. Others think we should fight everyone who comes near. I believe in something else. I believe in hope, and in you." Alex listened carefully. He tried to imagine what it was like for the Lissari, always afraid of their own power and hunted for it by others. Suddenly, he felt a new kind of courage growing inside him. He looked around at the guards, noticing that not all of them seemed happy to see him there. One guard, in particular, stared with cold eyes. Before Alex could ask more questions, an alarm blared in the station. The blue light turned red. The queen stood up quickly and ordered her guards to protect Alex. But the guard with the cold eyes hesitated, glancing at the queen, and then at Alex, his hand hovering near his weapon. Axaril turned to Alex. "Some of my people do not believe in humans. They fear you may bring more trouble. But you must trust me. We have to leave this place. The Galactic Council will arrive soon, and they will not help you or us." Alex nodded, understanding that his time on the station was ending. He followed the queen and her guards through twisting corridors as the alarms grew louder. They'd reached a docking bay, where the Lissari ship waited. Its surface glowed with rainbow colors. It looked alive, almost as if it was watching Alex. The queen led him onto the ship. As soon as they stepped inside, the door closed behind them, sealing out the alarms and danger. The ship felt safe and calm, like a shelter from the storm. Before they took off, the queen spoke once more. "This is only the beginning, Alex. There will be challenges. There will be those who stand against us, even among my own people. But if you are willing, together we can bring hope to both our races." Alex took a deep breath. He still felt fear, but also a new strength. He was ready to step out of the shadows and into the unknown. The Lissari ship moved smoothly through space, leaving the broken station and the danger behind. Inside, Alex tried to calm his nerves. He walked slowly down the main hallway, guided by two Lissari guards. The walls of the ship shimmered softly, and the floor felt warm under his boots. It was nothing like the cold, old human ships Alex had known. The queen's voice came over a small speaker. "Alex, please come to the council room." The guards nodded for him to follow. Alex swallowed hard, wondering what would happen next. He still remembered the guard with the cold eyes, and he couldn't shake the feeling that not everyone on this ship wanted him here. The council room was round and full of gentle light. Several Lissari stood in a circle, including the queen. Their eyes all turned to Alex as he entered. Some looked at him with hope, others only with suspicion. "Alex Mercer," the queen said, "this is our council. They will help decide the future of the Lissari." She gestured for him to sit. Alex sat, trying to appear brave. A tall, serious Lissari council member stepped forward. "Why should we trust a human?" he demanded. "Last time humans visited our world, we nearly lost everything. How do we know you are not a spy or a weapon?" Alex felt his anger rise, but he took a deep breath and spoke clearly. "I did not come here by choice. My own people left me to die. But I have seen your memories. I know what the bond between humans and Lissari once meant. I'm not your enemy." He looked at the queen. "I want to help." The room grew quiet. The queen nodded, her face full of hope. But the serious council member crossed his arms. Words are easy, human. Actions are harder. Prove yourself. Suddenly, the ship shook with a loud crash. The lights flickered. Alarms sounded. The guard with the cold eyes rushed in. "We are under attack," he shouted. "Another Lissari ship is boarding us. They do not want a human here." The Queen stood, her face calm but determined. "Alex, stay behind me," she ordered. But Alex refused. "If you want my help, let me help," he said bravely. The attacking Lissari burst into the council room, weapons raised. Alex noticed a control panel nearby. While the Queen and her guards faced the attackers, Alex slid behind the panel and started pressing buttons, using the skills he learned as an ambassador and engineer. He hacked the door controls and sealed the attackers out of the council room. The Queen smiled at Alex. "Your courage is true," she said. "Maybe you really are the one we need." As the ship sped away, the council began to see Alex not as a threat, but as a possible savior. But Alex knew the real test was still to come. He would have to face the doubts and dangers from both humans and Lissari, and prove once and for all what humanity could do. The Lissari ship sailed deeper into uncharted space, away from the conflict. Inside, Alex sat quietly, thinking about everything that had happened. He was far from home, surrounded by aliens, but for the first time, he felt a sense of purpose. He wasn't just a lost ambassador now. He was someone important, maybe even someone who could change the fate of a whole species. The Queen entered the small room where Alex was waiting. She smiled gently and sat beside him. "You were brave today, Alex," she said. "But now we must take the next step. If you agree, I would like you to join me in the ritual of symbiosis." Alex frowned. "What is that?" "It is an old tradition among my people," the Queen explained. "It will link our minds and spirits. If it works, our powers will become stable, and my people will be safe. But the ritual is not easy. It is dangerous, even for us." Alex looked down at his hands. The idea of sharing his mind with someone else made him nervous, but he remembered the visions and the pain in the Queen's memories. He also remembered the hope he had seen. "What do I have to do?" he asked quietly. The Queen led him to a special chamber in the heart of the ship. The walls were covered in glowing patterns, and the air buzzed with energy. Several Lissari elders stood around a large circle on the floor. "You must sit here, across from me," the Queen said. She took her place on one side of the circle. Alex sat on the other. The elders began to chant, their voices rising and falling like music. The Queen reached out her hands. "Are you ready?" Alex nodded and placed his hands in hers. At once, Alex felt a rush of energy. Colors swirled before his eyes. He saw flashes of the Queen's memories, her childhood, her fears, her dreams for peace. But now, something was different. He also felt his own memories flowing out. His family, his old life on Earth, his struggles and hopes. The connection grew stronger. Alex felt as if he was both himself and someone else at the same time. It was scary, but it was also beautiful. The Queen's pain mixed with his kindness, her hope mixed with his courage. Suddenly, a bright light filled the room. The elders stopped chanting and watched in awe. The glowing patterns on the walls grew brighter. The energy in the chamber grew so strong that the whole ship seemed to vibrate. Then, everything went still. The light faded, and the room was silent. Alex opened his eyes. The Queen was looking at him with tears of joy. "It worked," she whispered. "You did it, Alex. You are now a true friend of the Lissari. Our minds are joined, and our people have hope." Alex felt different, stronger, wiser, and no longer alone. But as he stood up, he noticed some elders looking nervous. He knew not everyone would accept this new bond. The hardest challenges were still ahead. The ship felt peaceful after the ritual of symbiosis. For a while, Alex and the Queen enjoyed a sense of calm and unity. Alex could feel her thoughts and emotions sometimes, and she could feel his. It was strange, but also comforting. Together, they felt strong. But not everyone was happy. Some Lisari elders whispered to each other in dark corners of the ship. Others avoided Alex completely. Even among the guards, a few stared at him with cold suspicion. The bond had saved the Queen and given hope to the Lisari, but it had also created fear. One night, while the ship glided quietly through space, Alex woke to the sound of arguing voices. He got up and walked to the corridor, careful to stay out of sight. He saw two elders and the guard with the cold eyes talking in hushed, angry tones. "This human is dangerous," one elder said. "We cannot trust him. He will betray us, just like before." The guard nodded. "The Queen is blinded by hope. We should take control before it's too late." Alex's heart pounded. He realized there was a plot against him, and against the Queen. He hurried back to the Queen's chamber and found her meditating. He told her everything he had heard. The Queen's face grew sad, but she did not look surprised. "There are always those who fear change," she said softly. "We must be careful, Alex." Before they could say more, the ship jolted violently. Red alarms flashed. Over the intercom, a Lisari voice shouted, "Boarders, we are under attack." Alex and the Queen rushed to the command deck. The main screen showed another Lisari ship, firing disabling beams at them. The attacking ship was led by the very elders who doubted Alex. The Queen took command, sending orders to her loyal guards to defend the ship. But in the chaos, the guard with the cold eyes led a small group to the Queen's side. "I am sorry, Your Majesty," he said, but his voice was cold. "We cannot allow this human to control our future." With a quick motion, the guards grabbed Alex and pulled him away from the Queen. The Queen tried to stop them, but another elder stunned her with a glowing device. Alex was dragged through the corridors, locked in a small cell. He banged on the door, shouting, "Let me out. She needs me." Without Alex, the bond began to break. On the bridge, the Queen struggled to focus. Her powers grew unstable. The Lisari felt pain in their heads and hearts as their control slipped. Some collapsed. The attackers didn't care. They only wanted to remove the human and end the Queen's new path. Far away, the Galactic Council received reports of the Lisari's strange energy spike. They prepared to send their strongest fleet to destroy what they could not understand. Alone in his cell, Alex knew he had to find a way out. The future of two worlds now rested on his shoulders. Alex paced in the tiny cell, his mind racing. He knew he didn't have much time. Without him, the Queen and her people were in danger. The ship was shaking with every attack. Alarms rang through the halls. Alex's heart pounded in his chest. He refused to give up. He sat down on the floor and examined his surroundings. The cell was small, but Alex noticed a loose panel near the floor. With quick fingers, he pried it open. Inside were tangled wires and a small service panel. Years as an ambassador had taught him how to fix, and sometimes break, machines. He remembered the Queen's words about courage and hope. He took a deep breath and started working. He crossed wires and pressed buttons, hoping he would not make things worse. Suddenly, the door lock buzzed, and the cell slid open. Alex grinned. "Still got it," he whispered to himself. He crept into the hallway. The ship was chaos. Guards running, elders shouting, lights flickering. Alex kept low and moved quickly, searching for allies. He found a young Lisari technician hiding behind a crate. "Are you with the Queen?" Alex asked in a low voice. The technician nodded. "Yes, I want peace, not war." Her eyes were wide with fear, but full of determination. "Help me get to the command deck," Alex said. "We need to save the Queen and everyone else." Together, they snuck through side corridors and maintenance shafts. Along the way, they met two more Lisari loyalists. The small group made their way to the ship's control center, dodging hostile guards and staying out of sight. At the command deck, Alex saw the Queen struggling, surrounded by enemies. Her face was pale. The bond between her and Alex was nearly broken. The elders shouted orders, demanding the ship surrender. Alex acted quickly. He used the technician's access card to hack the ship's communication system. He pressed the emergency broadcast button. Suddenly, his face appeared on every screen throughout the ship. "Listen to me," he called out, voice strong and clear. "I am not your enemy. I never wanted power over you. I only want to help. We are stronger together. The Queen showed me her pain, and I have shown her my hope. The real enemy is fear." His words echoed in every cabin. Some Lissari stopped fighting. Others lowered their weapons. Even a few elders paused, confused. Outside, the Galactic Council's fleet appeared on the ship's sensors. Time was running out. The Queen, weak but still fighting, reached out for Alex with her mind. Their bond flared to life again, stronger than before. Energy surged through the ship, calming the chaos. The Loyalists rallied to protect Alex and the Queen. With quick thinking, Alex hacked the ship's main computer and sent a message out to the whole galaxy, telling the truth about the Lissari struggle and the old bond between humans and Lissari. Other humans, far away, heard the message and began to respond. For the first time, Alex felt hope spreading, not just in his own heart, but throughout the stars. The Lissari ship drifted near the galactic core, bright stars swirling outside its windows. Inside, everyone was tense. The Queen, now back on her feet but weak, stood beside Alex on the command deck. Loyalists guarded the doors. On the screen, the Galactic Council's fleet grew closer, their weapons glowing. There was no way to run. This would be the last stand. Alex knew they could not fight the Council with force. Their ship was too damaged, and too many Lissari were wounded. He looked at the Queen and felt their bond. Warm, steady, and full of courage. "We have to try something different," he said quietly. The Queen nodded. "We will do it together, Alex. With the bond, we may reach them." As the Council's ships closed in, Alex activated the ship's main broadcast channel. Every Council ship, every listening station, would hear them. Alex and the Queen held hands, and their minds joined as one. Alex began to speak, his voice carried by the bond and by the ship's speakers. "Listen, please. This is Alex Mercer, a human, speaking with Queen Exaril of the Lissari. We don't want war. We want understanding. I have seen your fears, and I know them. But I have also seen the truth. The Lissari only want peace." The Queen's thoughts flowed through Alex. She sent memories of the ancient human who saved her people. She showed the Council what Alex had seen, the pain of the Lissari, and the kindness that humans once gave. On every Council ship, the crew felt those memories too. Their minds filled with images of hope, of humans and Lissari standing together against darkness. Some officers began to cry. Others lowered their weapons, confused and moved by the vision. The Council commander hesitated, his finger on the fire button. But he saw a memory, his own child, once sick, saved by a Lissari doctor. He looked at the screen and finally spoke. "We will not attack," he said. "Let us talk." Inside the Lissari ship, everyone let out a breath of relief. The elders who had tried to take control fell silent, ashamed of what they had done. Loyalists helped the wounded, and the Queen embraced Alex, tears of gratitude in her eyes. The last stand had not been a battle of weapons, but a battle of hearts and minds. Alex and the Queen, joined by the ancient bond, had done something no one believed was possible. They made two great races see each other as friends. But Alex knew this was only the beginning. Peace would not come easily. There would be more talks, more struggles. But for now, hope was real, and the galaxy had seen what humans and Lissari could do together. The Queen whispered, "Thank you, Alex. Together, we have changed everything." Peace returned to the Lissari ship. The alarms finally faded, and the wounded began to heal. Alex stood beside the Queen, looking out at the stars. For the first time since he crashed on the old station, he did not feel lost. He felt like he belonged. The Galactic Council sent messages, asking for talks. The council commander himself arrived in a small shuttle. He was tall and serious, but his face was kinder now. He bowed to the Queen and shook Alex's hand. "You have done something special," he said. "We must not waste this chance." Meetings were held in the ship's main hall. The Queen spoke for her people, with Alex always by her side. Loyal Lissari and council members worked together, making new promises. Alex told his story, explaining the old bond between humans and Lissari, and what he had learned through the Queen's memories. Not everyone agreed at first. Some council members did not trust the Lissari. A few Lissari elders still feared humans, but the memories Alex and the Queen had shared changed many hearts. More and more, the two sides began to listen. "We can build something new," the Queen said in her musical voice. "We can share knowledge, protect each other, and grow stronger together." Alex added, "We don't have to be afraid. Our pasts were full of pain, but we can make the future better, together." After many days, the new alliance was ready. Humans and Lissari signed an accord, a promise to help each other and to keep the peace. There would be shared missions, open visits between worlds, and new schools where young Lissari and humans could learn side by side. The Queen called Alex to the front of the hall. She hugged him, this time in front of everyone. Her eyes were bright with joy. "You have changed the fate of two worlds, Alex Mercer. You are not just my human. You are a hero to all of us." Alex smiled, feeling both shy and proud. He looked around at the faces, some Lissari, some human, all full of hope. He realized that even the smallest person could change the stars if they tried. As the celebrations began, Alex felt a warm sense of peace. He knew the future would not be easy. There would be mistakes and more hard days, but the bond between him and the Queen was strong, and now that bond joined two worlds together. Later, as the stars shone bright outside, the Queen stood beside Alex. She whispered, "Thank you, my human. With you, I have finally found the hope I lost so long ago." Alex squeezed her hand, his heart full. Together, they watched a new future begin, knowing that anything was possible when hearts were open.